Thanks for tuning in with God is my idea. I just want to talk about this new diagnosis that I have. Narcolepsy. You have two types of narcolepsy, which is a sleep disorder. Narcolepsy 1 and narcolepsy 2. Narcolepsy 1 comes with cataplexy. I think that's the word. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Where people with narcolepsy 1, they have strong emotions like laughing or crying, and then they may drop off and fall asleep. Narcolepsy 2 is the person they don't have those symptoms, but they suffer from excessive daytime sleepiness. Narcolepsy 1 also suffer from excessive daytime sleepiness. But with the excessive daytime sleepiness, it's not a normal feeling. Like, the urge to sleep is so fucking strong. It's almost feel like I done took some sedative to help me sleep. That's how strong it feels. I be yawning, the tears be rolling down my eyes. That's how strong the yawning is. And it's just like, oh, I need to sleep right now. But you can't sleep because you may be traveling, you may be at work, you may be doing something. So you can't necessarily take that nap. But when I am able to take the nap, like on the weekend when I'm home and I have these episodes of sleep attacks and I take a nap, then I wake up like I never even went to sleep. So I don't even wake up refreshed. So the naps really don't benefit me, but I just need to do it so the excessive sleepiness feeling can just subside for the meanwhile until the next one happens. So it all started when I moved out here in 2000. I moved out here in 2004. So I think like 2005, like a year after I moved out here, I was pushing my daughter's carriage, who was 1, and I'm leaning on I'm literally, say this is a stroller, and I'm pushing her down the street. I'm like this, pushing the stroller because I feel the need. I have the urge to sleep. So that's how bad those sleep attacks is, where you literally, when they come on, you want to sleep. Like, wherever you at, you want to go to sleep. So, I did a sleep study. And I got the sleep study done because I was snoring really loud, and my son was on the phone with his friend, and his friend heard me snoring. And my son took a piece of tape and was trying to put tape on me to stop me from snoring. So I was like, well, let me just tell my doctor about the snoring. But I always had a snoring problem. But my sister used to be so upset, like she got to go to sleep before me because she could not sleep if I went to sleep first because of the snoring. So that was one thing. And then that sleepy feeling that I was feeling. So I go to my doctor. My doctor gave me a referral to see a sleep specialist. So I see a sleep specialist. They ask me all these questions. How likely are you to fall asleep in certain situations, like driving a car, being stuck being in a car as a passenger, stuck at a stoplight, watching a movie during the day, or TV, or reading a book, or sitting and talking to someone, or sitting there doing that. How likely are you to fall asleep from 0 to 5? Most of the questions had 5. There was one time I was at work. Now I was doing nap time, and my coworker was talking to me. And she said she asked me a question. I wouldn't respond. I was literally sitting. She came over to me and woke me up because I was sitting in the chair and literally fell asleep while she was talking to me. That wasn't a good sign. And then there was one time I was at work at nap time, and I had my headphones on, hoping that would keep me from falling asleep. And my director came with a rule, and I easily woke up. And he was like, wake up. So he already knew I had this problem going on. So, all these emails and notifications. So, I had a sleep study done, and they diagnosed me with idiopathic hypersomnolence, which only means unknown cause for excessive daytime sleepiness. So they put me on a medication called Provigil, which didn't help. They put me on the highest dose, but I still was having sleep attacks. But because Provigil got caffeine in it, caffeine is like a diuretic to me, so I just was pissing on urinating all damn day. So I had to get off that medicine. I had no medicine since then. And like I said, I've been suffering from the last 16 years with this. So I lost my health insurance because when I had the second sleep study done, they diagnosed me with the same thing, but they was like possibly narcolepsy. And I was supposed to have a daytime sleep study done. But then I lost my Medicaid because they said I was making too much money and that job didn't have no health insurance. So I wound up not getting a sleep study done for the next 5 years. I landed a job with health insurance, but I didn't think, go get the sleep study done. So the second job that I land, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of suffering. This sleep disorder is destroying my life. Like, it's making me moody. It's making me irritable. I'm forgetting things. Like, it's really taking its toll on me. It's causing me to cry. So I was like, I got it done. So I was diagnosed now with hypersomnia, which is excessive daytime sleepiness, the snoring, and then finally a diagnosis of narcolepsy too. They diagnosed me with narcolepsy too based on the daytime sleep study in which I had to take 5 naps every 2 hours for 30 minutes. Each time I took those naps, guess what happened? I fell asleep. Now, if you don't have narcolepsy or sleep disorder, you going to just be laying in the bed like you're not going to be able to go to sleep. I literally fell asleep each time I took that nap. It was different minutes of sleep duration, but I fell asleep each time. I didn't even know that I fell asleep. So that's how, and then based on the scale that they use, AHI, I for the diagnosis is narcolepsy. So I'm grateful for the diagnosis. I don't want to have narcolepsy because, like I said, having those sleep attacks is very uncomfortable. You get really, really sleepy. Like wherever you at when those attacks come, you just want to lay your head down and go to sleep. And you can't do that. And it takes a toll on you. And I'll be forgetting. Like I had just laid my phone down and forgot where the hell I had put it at. So you got brain fog. Like it just really takes its toll on you. And then I'm at risk for diabetes too. I'm at risk for a heart attack or a stroke. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. So the treatment plan, what I was reading on, I go back to the doctor next week. So I'm hoping that they got a medicine that's going to help me with the daytime sleepiness so I can have better quality of life. And I know that I have to exercise 4 or 5 hours before going to bed. Limits my intake of caffeine, which I don't drink sodas and stuff. I may drink coffee every now and then if I have a craving for it. But I basically drink water and 100% juice, and I don't drink a lot of juice because that's sugar, which is unhealthy for you. So yeah, that's my diagnosis. I'm gonna keep you updated. Please do not take sleep for granted. I wouldn't wish sleep disorder no one. Or no one. I have hypersomnia. I have snoring. I have restless leg syndrome, which I really think restless leg syndrome is another sleep disorder. It stops you from falling asleep because when you're in bed and at night and while you resting, some people get pain. Well, I get a creepy crawly feeling in the bottom of my feet where I have to get up and walk around so the feeling can go away. I'll take a medicine called Requip for that. So it's not happening at night no more, but it's happening during the day, which makes me restless and I can't sit still. Or when I'm on a bus coming home from work, I don't want nobody to sit next to me because I'll be like taking my shoe off, like I can't sit still because that feeling is very uncomfortable. So that's another sleep disorder. I did have, in one of my first sleep studies, I had something called PLM, which is periodic leg movement. But during this sleep study, that didn't happen. So I'm just screwed up. But I believe that I don't know nobody in my family who has a sleep disorder. But I'm starting to believe that because I developed a sleep disorder right after coming off medication for depression, I'm starting to believe that antidepressant medicine that I was taking contributed to me developing that sleep disorder, messing with my brain. Like my brain, the parts that control the sleep is not functioning properly basically anymore. And I believe that because when you're depressed, they say you have a chemical imbalance. So when you take the medication, it balances out those chemicals to cause you not to be depressed. But I think the side effects for that messed up the other chemicals in my brain that's fucked up my sleep. And messed with my sleep. Now I'm up here sitting here suffering from narcolepsy, which is a lifelong condition. And the only time it's not on the it's not on the list of it's not on the list of social security disabilities unless it start affecting me. Only how I can apply for disability if I actually take medication, the medication don't work and is causing me to fall asleep at work. Now when I have the sleep attacks at work, because I work with children, I'm able to get up and move around. But if I had a desk job, that would be hard to do. So I can't do a desk job because I'm literally probably going to go. But because I work with children and I can feel when it's there, so I get up and I'll be around the classroom yawning with my eyes all bloodshot red. But I move around and that attack lasts for like 30 minutes. So can you imagine that happening to you 2 or 3 times a day? And I automatically fall asleep once I'm in the bus or the trolley. Like I could put my my son was like, "Will you put your music on?" I put my music on. I could be singing to the music. Next thing you know, I'm like, there was one time this is how fast I fell asleep. Let's say I get off at 58th Street. I fell asleep at 57th Street, missed my stop, and woke up at 59th Street. That's how fast you can drop over and fall asleep with narcolepsy. You fall asleep at unknown times. So if I'm sitting, I'll fall asleep. If I'm reading a book, I'm going to fall asleep. If I'm on my lunch break looking at my phone, I'm going to fall asleep. But when I'm in the classroom, when those feelings come, I know to get up and walk around, because if I don't get up and walk around, I'm going to fall asleep. I took the children to the bathroom. And thank God somebody was in the bathroom with me, because I had laid my head up against the stall while I was holding the door for the child and almost fell asleep. So it's a dangerous situation for me as well. So I hope I never develop narcolepsy 1, because I don't want to be traveling somewhere outside, walking and be laughing at something and drop right there and fall asleep. So please do not take your sleep for granted, because I wouldn't wish this on nobody. God is Hadir.